Okay, guys and gals, this is Alex with Exchange Commercial Real Estate, multifamily broker here in Kansas City, coming to you every single week with the Multifamily Minute. And first up, we're going to look at Zillow. Now, as we do every single week, we take a look at what's come on the market within the last few days. So here we go. We've got a good snapshot of the new opportunities that are presented to us. And so let's jump right into it. This is all powered by the local MLS. We put our properties on the MLS if they're of a certain size and certain quality, and a lot of other multifamily brokers do too. There's a lot of good ones in town. So first up, let's take a look at this particular property here. This is actually, you guys have already seen this on LoopNet CoStar here within the last month or so. It's now made its way to Zillow. There's a lot that we actually like about this deal. It's a decent price per door in Overland Park. Rents are probably pretty good. I know it's been rehabbed pretty well. So this is one that I do know will sell. It takes a little patience here on this one, but this is a quality asset in an amazing location. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it too much more because we've already talked about it a couple weeks ago when it's made its way to LoopNet. But that's one you can check out. Reach out to me because once it's on the MLS, typically there's a co-broker fee. And so I can actually help you understand this property better than maybe either other agents or the listing broker for that matter. So let's talk about this one together. I've got all the information, get that over to you as well. All right. Next up, we've got actually three properties here. And I'll try and zoom in on them so it can focus here. I'm very familiar with these three properties. I own properties in and around this area myself. Our office is in this area. I've transacted a lot in this area. And this particular property here, which is 1.5 million, that's 12 units. And this is right around the corner here. These are all one bedrooms. This entire portfolio is pretty much all one bedrooms. They've rehabbed either all of them or virtually all of them pretty well. I think the one piece here that we need to look at is that the price per unit's I think $120,000 plus per unit. Let's do that real quick. So 1.5 divided by 12 is let's see here. Yeah, $125,000 unit. So it's a little on the high side at current interest rates. However, a year ago or so, the seller would have no issue getting that price. So even though it's all one bedrooms, I think these could rent for a good amount. It's an amazing location. The downside here could be that there isn't any parking. So that's something to consider, but happy to take a look at that in more detail together. Another one, same seller, I believe, is this one over here, which is another nice property. This is a sixplex. And it's been all completely redone. Again, all one bedrooms, black granite countertops, subway tile, gray, white, new fans, nickel, all that. And so this stuff is pretty well near turnkey. There might be a couple small things to do as well as pushing rents, but the properties themselves have had some good significant work to each and every single one of them. Again, a little on the high side, but you're looking for turnkey near the streetcar extension. These are it. Yet another one. This is the same kind of deal. Here you recognize all the fixtures and the style of the property. You're going to recognize it. Standard kind of colonnade, or in this case, sixplex interior access building that we've all come accustomed to here in Kansas City in Midtown. I like these properties. I like these locations. Price point I think could be worked out. So if you want something that's turnkey or dang near it, near the streetcar extension, remember this is right here down this line. This could be an interesting opportunity to take a look at together. So let's reach out. Let's see if we can get some offers in on this and see what happens. Okay. Next up, let's see here. Let's take a look. So we covered this one in Overland Park. We covered these. This particular property here in Mission is actually a series of properties. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through over here. You can see the different properties that are kind of available in this area. It is 1.9 million for, let's see how many units this is. This is, let's see here. Well, yeah, it's got some single family homes in it. It's got some stuff in probate. So this is one that I wouldn't really maybe take too much of a look at without speaking to an agent on because of all the different moving pieces. So feel free to reach out and we can track this down for you and get you the details and see if there's an amazing kind of sale here for an aggressive buyer who wants to take care and take advantage of this market. Okay. Let's zoom back out. Remember, this is everything new in the last 7 days. So we covered all of these. This is MLS. This is all the new we've got. So let's pop on over to LoopNet here, which we've got a couple of new listings, so to speak. We've got 32 units in Independence, which is a series of 16 duplexes east of 291 Highway. I have a lot of off-market stuff in Independence. I also have some stuff that's off-market over here in this similar kind of area. I think 3.49, 3.5 million for 32 duplexes is probably not a bad price, depending on the quality of the asset, depending on the rental rates, and depends on if they have garages or not. But that's a pretty good little price for a duplex package, $100,000, a little over per unit, 120,000, 110,000. And if they're done correctly, you're going to have hardly any owner expenses anyway. So this is something you could look at if you were in love with duplexes. This is probably a class B minus area, I would say. So treat that accordingly. So it's a decent part of Independence, and happy to look at those a little bit further with you. Okay. Zooming back out, there's another property here, which is a little bit misleading. I'm very familiar with this property as well. I know this seller and had been talking to him for quite a while. This is actually, so it's listed here at 60 units. It's actually only 50 units. Okay, so this is a higher price per unit than what you might think. I've gone through some of the finances on this. It says 8.4% cap rate. It's probably more closer to an 8% cap rate once you factor in appropriate management and some other factors within that property. It's also maybe 80%, 85, 90% occupied. I do know that they want to sell. I think there's an opportunity to take this down. This is actually probably a decent cash flowing property with the correct ownership and management group in place. So it could be something if you want a Class C property, Class C neighborhood, Kansas City, Kansas, that's excellent cash flow. This could be a good one for you. So I could recommend checking that one out as well. And we could kind of talk about all of these together. Okay. So I know what you might be thinking is, wow, Alex, that's great. There's a couple of decent priced properties out here, some great located properties. Some of these aren't selling. Some of these are. What's the deal? Well, we've got rising interest rates we all know about, but we really have banks that are kind of crimping down on what they're really willing to lend. Oftentimes they'll throw out an interest rate number to a potential client, and if that client bites, great, but they're really not being aggressive in wanting to get deals done. But we have about 5 different lenders right now at this moment who are willing to lend on all different asset types and locations. Each lender is going to be a little bit different, and we really only do recommendations once we get to a closer point with the property that you're considering on, because we don't want to overwhelm a lender getting phone calls with somebody that has no intention of actually closing out the deal. So we can solve one of those problems, one of those excuses, as I call it, the lender excuse. We've got that problem solved for you. Deal flow and availability, we've got that problem solved for you with everything that we have coming off market. And then the third piece is just confidence in the market. Well, what if rates go up? Well, if rates go up, you look like a genius because you've got a lower rate than everybody else that's buying next year, the year after. And then, well, what if rates go down? Well, you refinance. So you've got a great property at a great deal, a great price per unit, that if rates go down a half point or a point next year, everybody's going to be buying. So there's a lot of competition. So right now, to be honest, there's not a ton of competition. So now is a great time to take advantage of all the off-market opportunities that we have. All the opportunities that are on market actually can be taken advantage of. Wait for the shoe to drop, sure. But I was talking to an investor, a friend of mine the other day, who said that, stupid people aren't buying right now. Really smart people are buying. Rich people are buying because they don't care about interest rates. They care about, buying the right property and then they refinance as they need to. Whereas poor people and stupid people don't buy because they don't have the ability to take the risk and the chance. Now that's a blunt way to put it, but I like the analogy of it. So now's a great time to buy, take advantage of the market with some of these good deals. Okay. So again, this is Alex Olson with Exchange Commercial Real Estate, multifamily broker here. If you're on a 1031 exchange deadline, please reach out. Look forward to hearing from you. Otherwise, if not, we'll talk to you next week.